Prep Beat. It's Thomas Lawrence and T.J. Holmes. We're previewing a D1 championship game against #1 seed Enterprise, hosting #2 Paradise. You know, Enterprise stole the #1 seed from Paradise second to last week of the regular season when the Bobcats lost to Red Bluff. Paradise was sort of destined for that #1 seed. You know, this year they were favorite all season long. Enterprise jumped up there, grabbed the EAL, and then won against PV to grab that #1 seed. You know, and that pulls Paradise off the ridge where they've lost 3 of their last 4 road games.
Yeah, you know, in Division I, especially in the northern section, home field has been so critical. And when you look at these two fields, you know, Paradise's home-raised field, a place that, you know, could be a little muddy, not have the best footing, even when it's not raining outside. As you go to Enterprise, they got that new artificial turf. It's slick. It's great for teams with a lot of speed. And, you know, it's not just contrasting fields with these two, it's contrasting offenses. Paradise has the wing tee, that old leather helmet style football. And Enterprise, you know, they switch it back between the spread and the I formation.
Yeah, and then Enterprise really showed that versatility last week against Chico in the semis, where it was rainy and it was sloppy, even on the turf. No one could really hang on to the ball, but they showed that versatility by switching between the spread and the I formation. They gave Brad Woods the ball 22 times in the second half, only threw the ball 3 times out of all their plays that they ran that whole second half. And they just were really able to control it and pull away from Chico in that game. I mean, Brad Woods carried the ball 11 straight times on their last scoring drive. That can be a big difference maker with the way that they can kind of control the pace and control the line of scrimmage against Paradise. It can change the whole complexion of the game of slowing the game down, which they might need to do if it's rainy, and it might need to hold off Paradise depending on how their offense is running the ball and everything. You know, and then occasionally that might open things up with their passing game. Zach Trueblood could hit a couple of his receivers: Travis Hall, Brock Barr, Justin Abney, Taylor Angley, Holman. I mean, these guys are all over the field. You know, tons of weapons, so it can really change a lot of different things.
Yeah, you know, and I was fortunate enough to see an amazing game earlier this year when Enterprise went to Paradise. They took them to overtime, lost by a point. And, you know, one thing I noticed in that game, a game where Enterprise lost but gained a lot of confidence definitely, is that Paradise's quarterback, Tom Hayes, will definitely be an X factor on Saturday. You know, out of that offense, known as much more of a rushing quarterback, he can throw it a little bit, but what makes him so dangerous is his field vision and his knowledge. He really plays like an older guy, you know, a college IQ kind of out there. You know, he can look away the defense and kind of get a run in there, and I think he's very dangerous even on that turf at Enterprise this Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, you were there in that first one, and Tom Hayes, you know, kind of torched Enterprise, over 190 rushing yards. You take away his stats, and then you look at Enterprise, they kind of corralled that Paradise rushing attack between their fullbacks and the running backs. So, you know, but that's what Paradise likes to do, and that's why they're so deadly, is they kind of lull you to sleep. I mean, they run the traps, the bellies, you know, and the dives and everything, and then all of a sudden Hayes sneaks out on a quarterback keeper for a long run, or even goes over the top for a long pass play. Enterprise has to be very careful to limit those big plays and just win first and second down, so that way it forces Paradise into doing something that they're not comfortable doing. You know, and then you got to think that Enterprise really wants redemption for this one. I mean, they lost at Paradise in overtime, by 1 point. You know, they came back. They proved that they could come back by shutting out Paradise in the 4th quarter, scoring 10 points to force overtime. So, you know, you take away that miscue on that snap in overtime, and that can be a completely different outcome, change a few things. But, I mean, you were there in that first one. I'm going to be at this one, you know, Enterprise Paradise this time. Who do you like, and who do you like in this game? You're going to be down at West Valley, or at Sutter for West Valley. Who do you like in this game, and maybe why?
You know, since the beginning of the season, since basically summer camp, one thing I've thought is home field advantage is just so important because of the different teams, because of the style, because of their comfort. And because of that, I'm going to stick with Enterprise, a team that I said at the beginning of the playoffs, you know, would win this. And I think right now against Paradise, a team that they proved they could beat. They lost that game, yeah, but they proved that they have the ability to beat that team. They're more comfortable. They've been better at home all season. And Brad Woods, their star running back, is much healthier than he was against Paradise the first time. So like the Hornets, a really senior heavy team to get the job done. Yeah,
I'm gonna lean with Enterprise too, but that's just because I mean both teams match up. I mean they have tons of playmakers on both sides, but we all know that we've seen it. This Paradise team isn't as strong as the teams of the past that the Bobcats have had. They're a little bit down this year, but they're still an explosive, fantastic team. They're 8-3. They're the #2 seed. They're back in the finals for the 5th straight season. So they're no slouch. But I just like Enterprise's ability for their playmakers, and to prove that they could stop Paradise at Paradise, that running attack in the fourth quarter when they need to, that's when the Bobcats are at their best, is that fourth quarter, grind it out, take those long drives and score. And that's the reason I like Enterprise, is because they can stop that. They proved it already. Now they get them on their home turf with their own fans, their own style of play on the turf, and I think it's going to be too tough for the Hornets to be stopped.
And it should be an incredible game, and as TJ said, he'll be there. You can follow live updates of the game on Twitter, on his Twitter handle, at TJHolmes_RS, for all the updates and scores and what's happening from the championship game if you can't be there.
And then following the game, we have all videos, scores, highlights, and stories and everything, blogs on prepbeat.com, so make sure you check that out.